Hello friends, welcome back to Adike's InfoTech channel. Today is IICS Day 3 sessions. So today we're going to discuss about multiple file concepts and ISM technologies in IICS. Let's see first how to load file list concept in IICS using config file. Let's say we have multiple files from the source. Okay, we need to load it into the target table. Let's say we have a similar files. Every day we are getting the similar files from the upstream applications. Okay, let's go with an example. So we have a source files. Okay, let's say these are the files which we are receiving daily from the upstream applications. Okay, employee one. So we have these kind of records into this employee data, which is a delimited files we are getting. Okay, we have these many columns. So in the similar way, we have multiple files with the same columns. Okay, the important thing here is all source files have same structure. Okay, if you are trying to use this file list concept in ISCS, you should consider all the source files should have the same structures. Otherwise you cannot load it into the single target table. Okay. If you have a different files, let's say you have three files has same structure and another six files have same structure. So in that case, what you have to do, first load these three. Okay, make it into a different folder and consider these six into a different folder. Then you can use this file list concept. Okay, so that is the main important thing which you need to remember always. So here I have all the same structures in 9 files. Okay, so we need to create one dummy file. Let's say here I have created config file. Where is it? Yes, this is. So what I have done, I have just mentioned the path of each files. Okay, if you see here, these files here in the input folder, I have these many files, right? So I need to get the file path till here and the folder input files. Inside this folder, I have a file name called employee9.csv. Okay, all 9 files I have inserted into this config.txt file with the path locations. So now what we have to do, let's go back to the IICS, log into IICS, go to new, create a mapping here. So this is more mapping task. Click on this, go to mapping. So I'll give mapping name as file list load. Okay. Source, here what I have to do, select source as a flat connection. It's a single object. No, we are using a file list concept. Okay, in Power Center we call it as a indirect file method. Okay, here it is a file list. This is also interview question. They will ask you what is the name that we do indirect method in Power Center and what is the name in IACS which we will use, which is nothing but file list. You need to tell them as a file list. Okay, now object you need to select config file. So it's like a dummy file. It's not a dummy file. It's a configuration file which consists all the location path details. Okay, select this config.txt. You don't have to give the formatting options because it is a config file, right? So now if you see here, we'll get only one ID. So go to formatting options. You need to select the formatting options because the files which we are using here, the source files, those having delimiters, right? So I'll just open and show it to you. So these files have delimiters. See here, this is the delimited which the source team used. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this delimited. Go to IICS here. Here we don't see, right, comma, tab, colon, semicolon, non-printable. That's it. So in this case, what you have to go and use this. Go to others and paste the copied one. So this is the delimited which we have used in the source file. Okay. So click OK. So next, let's take one expression and go to target. So what we are doing here, we are trying to get all the detail, all the file names and load into the target. So in target, we should have a target table name, or else we can create a runtime. Okay, we'll create a runtime target, which is a archive target, single object. Object is I will create a runtime t underscore employees uh, employees employees file list. Okay, click on OK. You don't have to map anything. Click on save. So now the mapping is valid. Create a mapping task. Empty underscore file list load. Select the mapping. Click on next. Save it. Now with that table name, it should be created in the target table and all the files needs to be loaded. Before that, let's check. So we have 107, right? 107, 107 into 9 files. So total 963 records should be loaded into the target table. Let's run the job now. Run. So the job is running now. It's a must and should interview question. If you are attending for IICS interviews, so they will definitely ask you how you can load. Suppose we are getting the files, different files or uh, daily wise files from the upstream applications. How can you load into the target? So this is the question they will ask you. You need to say that we are receiving everyday files in a particular directory, then we have to use the file list concept so that we can configure the config file like some .txt which consists of all the file locations details. Okay, so that we need to give in a source properties. They will ask you like what are the properties which you select in the source. Okay, that you need to explain clearly. Like here in source we have filled these options, right? You have to take connection as a flat file connection and source type as a file list, and in object we need to select the configuration text file, and in formatting options you need to select the delimited. Okay, if if you don't have delimited, it will be there definitely either comma, pipe or tab. These three will be there. So there you need to give the formatting option so that IICS will read the data. Otherwise, you will get the job will get failed. So if you see here in jobs, as I said, 963 records has been loaded, right? So let's go and check in target. What is the target table name which we have given? E underscore employee file list. This is the one, right? See, we have all these records. E underscore employees file list. So if you check here, so these many records we have. Okay. So that's how we will use this file list concept in IICS. So now let's see if you are getting data in Excel sheets, okay, in the form of Excel format, how we can load into the target tables. We will get these kind of scenarios in real time, like some from sales side. We will be getting like sales reports in the form of Excel login. So at that time, we need to load all kind of data into a different target tables. Okay, so that we will see how we can do. So we can do that kind of scenarios in ISCS using ISM method. ISM is nothing but intelligent structure model. Okay, if you go here, click on new, we have a components tab. Here we need to select intelligent structure model. So this model, you see here, create an intelligent structure model. You can associate it with a structure parser transformation and use the transformation in a mapping. In a mapping, we need to use structure parser transformation. We do have a new transformation here, structure parser transformation. So with the help of this structure parser, we can read the data from Excel sheets and load it into the respective target tables. Okay, let's see an example here. Let's see employee transaction we have. Here you can see we have a different sheets, right? So here we have employee related data, and here we have employee address details, and we have transactional details as well. So we will be maintaining tables with respect to each data, right? So employee data should go to the employee table, employee address should go to the address table, and the transaction details go to the transaction table. So how we can read this data? Okay, let's see now. So as I said, go here, go to components, select intelligent structure model. First, we need to define the structure. Okay. So first, if we define the structure, then only the structure parser transformation we can use it. So let me give you the name of this structure parser. Employee uh, transaction details. Okay. So I'll be saving in dev folder here based on file sampling. So we have to give the file sampling. This employee transaction source. Okay. Click on this. So if you see here, so this is the sample file. We have all inside this. We have the sheets, right? Employee address, and transaction. These three sheets are there. Correct. So here by default it will show display. If you see here display, we have EMP. So which means it is showing this data, this employee data. So employee, if you see here, we have these, right? So it is showing in this way. And if you click on this, we'll see different sheets, Excel sheets. Suppose we have only 3 sheets here. Let's say we have some 20, 30 sheets. So here it will show all 20, 30 sheets names it will display here. So we need to select each sheet, okay, and we need to define the structure whether you want to load it into a CSV file or text file, or you want to load it into a target, or you want to load it into a JSON or XML files. So any operations we can do from here itself. If you see here, visual model is there, right? Right now it is not showing anything. If you click on this relational output, here it will show the relational output. So before that, we need to discover the structure. So let's see. So it is processing now. This employee, it found the sheet. We have different sheets. On the first sheet, we need to discover the structure. So it will discover the structure. What are all the uh, columns are there? Okay, and which sheet it is belong to? What is the sheet name? Everything it will show here. So if you see, this is the main file, right? Excel file. Okay, in this Excel we have a element is nothing but it's related to, it's kind of file name. Okay, if you want you can rename this file name as well. Here rename is there, right? Employee transaction details. Okay, like this. So this is the employee transaction details file. So it found first it is a Excel file, so that's why it is showing Excel, and element is nothing but file name. If you see, these are the tabs: employee sheet and employee address sheet and transaction sheet. If we have 20 sheets, it will display all 20. Okay. Now see here, if I go to employee sheet, what it is showing? It is showing employee sheet details on the right side, correct? And if I go to address, it will show the address sheet details. And if I go to transaction, it will show the transaction details. All sheet details it will show. Okay. Now, first let's take this employee. Okay. We have a table. Let's say it's I have selected relational. If you see here, relational output. That's why it is showing it as a table. Table. If I close this one, we'll get only the structure. So you need to select here. This is the visual model. In which format you want to fit. If it is relation, it will show the relation. Let's say it is a JSON. So it will automatically write the JSON code. Okay. So this code we can load it into the, with this we can create a JSON file. So with that JSON file again, it will be analyzed for further purposes. Okay. Now relational output, find actions we have. JSON test the output internal substitute score based on model, output type, and an input file. The structure discard transcription the input to the selected output type and saves the output in a file. So test output format. If we just click here, it will just transform. Let's say it's XML file. Select and transform. What it will do, it will transform the data. We can directly save here. Okay. This is just for testing purpose. How it will be. Okay. Before we after this we need to do the transformation logics, right? So for testing purpose, you can just here itself you can do the other things as well. So now what we'll do, I'll just load it into a table. Okay, relational table. By default, it will select all sheets as a table. You click on this. This is a table. Okay. If you click on the address tab, it will show the all the column details. How many columns we have. Okay, these are the columns which we have. So what I'll do, an employee ID, all this I want to load into the target file. So I have selected this. Then what you need to do is just click on save. Now it has been saved, right? So close it. Now let's create a mapping. So this is m underscore ISM employee data. Here source is, we don't have any sources, right? Because we need to select intelligence structure model transformation. So for that, let's say here it is a source is a flat file, and we'll just give one dummy file name. So here what I'll do, I have created one input feed, so that we need to create like this one dummy file which has a file path location. So this is the one, right, which we are trying to do. Excel employee transaction source excel dot xlsx excel file. Okay, so we need to provide here the sample file input.txt. We go and check field here, we have file path only. Okay, so this. Now we need to select ISM structure parser. You see here we have structure parser, right? Just drag and drop here. Now we need to select the intelligence structure model. Here it is asking, right, intelligence structure model. So we need to select here in the dev we have created, right, employee transaction details. Here you can see intelligence structure model type. Select. So in the output, we are looking out for a relational, right? So that's why here I can select relation or anything. I have row packet or okay, these three are recently added, I think. Incoming fields, we don't have any incoming field. Field mapping, because we haven't connected source, right? So source I'll connect. Now we'll get incoming field. Incoming field is file path. Field mapping is we need to map this to file path. That's it. Okay, output fields advanced. We don't need this as of now. So now what we need to do, we need to connect to the target. So before connecting to target, it will ask you which one you want to load. Address element 1, element 2. Here it is showing address element 2, right? If we want, we can rename this while defining the intelligence structure model. There we have, right, there itself we can rename it with the sheet names. So this one is a employee, second one is employee city, I think. Third one is standard employee transaction side. I will just show you employee address transaction. These three sheet names we need to give before we are doing that one. Okay, so I just say address. So in this way, if we have a let's say copy and paste, I need to map or else I'll create three different targets. Okay, again this the element 1, again this the element 2. So what I'll do, I'll just rename here employee. Second one is employee address. The third one is employee transaction. Okay. So that we can clearly understand. So here target is incoming field. We are getting these incoming fields. So target, I want to load it into Oracle, right? So here object, I'll just create new T underscore employee ISM. Okay, click on OK. So we don't have to map anything. So target 1 is completed. Target 2, here is it is also relational. Select object runtime T underscore address ISM. Click on OK. And again the third target transaction. So select target, create a runtime T underscore transaction ISM. Okay. So in this way we can load different all the sheets into different targets. Okay. Save it. So now the mapping is valid. Let's create the mapping task. T underscore employee address transaction. Yes. Okay. So select the runtime environment and select the mapping. ISM employee data. So this is the mapping, right? We have created. Next, save it. So in target, we should it should create three target tables, right? Should create three target tables. So three different sheets into three targets. Let's run the mapping. So the job is running now. In real time, this also we will use it. Uh, that it will depend on the project. Okay. So if we have this kind of data is coming from the upstream applications, then definitely we have to use this one. This is one-time creation. If you are getting the same kind of data from every day, so what you need to change, you just need to change the path only where we have given in the source, right? The path we have given, right, in configure, sorry, input. In that input, you need to add, you need to change the file name. That's it. So 68 it has loaded. If you see here, from source it is reading only one. It is a file, only one file path, right? Inside the file path we have the Excel sheet. So it is first employee data we have 26 records, and transaction we have 26. Sorry, address 26, and in transaction we have 16. So let's check here. So what is that table name? We have one T underscore employee transaction ISM, employee ISM, and one more is address ISM, right? So first we'll check employee ISM. So we have 26 records. So here also we have 26. Okay. Next is address ISM. Here also we have 26. So same 26 it has read. And transaction ISM we have a 16. So 16 records it has. So this is how you need to implement in real time. Okay. If you have any questions regarding this, please let me know in the comment section. And what else we have? It is yes, parser. Yeah. So we have covered all these three topics. If you want, you can do an exercise. Like take one Excel sheet and you can download some sample data from browsers. It's like if you take COVID related data, sales related data, and company related data. So you just download uh, the sample Excel sheets from the browser from online platforms. And what you'll do, if you have only single exercise, then try to create here the sheets, new sheets, and just cut the data and paste it here so that you can have multiple sheets here. For learning purpose, just take different kinds of data like DOB salaries if we have here. Take and commissions and giving compensations. Okay, adding the salaries. Okay, 0.5% or 10%. Just have a multiple columns here itself, and you try to load it into the target. You create a runtime the target tables, or you just create with the same column names in the target table. Create target tables and load it into the target tables. And also you can do this uh, table truncate option. Okay, before loading into the table, you can do the truncate as well. So first do the truncate, then load the data. So you can do these kind of exercises. And so as I said, file list concept, it's very simple. Have at least like 5 to 10 files. Have it in a separate folder. As I said, input folder. I have kept all files in input file, and I have created one config file for this, where we can uh, put all the file path locations in this folder, in this file. So that's it, guys. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. Please do like this video and subscribe and share it to your friends. Thank you so much, guys. We'll meet in the next session. Bye.